All right, time for some comic books, Tyler.
Yeah. Let's fucking do it,
That's
bro.
me slipping it out. Slipping it out of this slip. Yeah.
Oh my god. Just
In
came
my
out.
greasy palms.
Greasy palms are here to stay. How long
Not everything's a song, Tyler.
Yeah, it is.
You bastard. We are talking about Defenders number 5 by Al Ewing. Excuse me.
Javier Rodriguez.
I am terrible at names. Javier Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
So yeah, this is the 5th issue. This is the final issue of this miniseries. Of course, we've talked about this leads to another miniseries, or maybe it is a series. I don't know if it's a full-fledged thing, monthly. But anyway,
The Defenders and Defenders Beyond are both miniseries. I don't believe that's
Marvel
why.
needs to be stopped. Because they're mimicking their own fucking movies. But it says
That's
the
what I
Defenders
did.
will return.
Actually, they're mimicking James Bond.
That was close. I
That
I ripped that.
Actually, I don't know if that was the first character that did that, but that was the first character I remember doing it. Is that at the end of a James Bond movie, they would say James Bond will return, and you'd be like, "Oh, cool." Yeah. There's going to be another James Bond movie.
So this is you would think this whole issue, because each issue of this series has been from different characters of the Defenders' perspectives, but this one is actually told through the perspective of Doctor Strange, which is strange. Most of it, there's not the whole story, but majority of the story, it's through the perspective of Doctor Strange. But there's a reason for that, because we get a reveal for who the masked Raider, who he is in this book.
Who is he?
So when you first read it, did you
What?
piece it together before it was revealed who he was,
I
or did it make sense to you when it was revealed? It was like, oh, of course.
I'm trying to remember what it was like when I first, because when I started rereading it again for me and you, I figured it out around like the 3rd issue, or I remembered because it had been a long time. So I think it came out in 2021 or early 2022.
Yeah, 2021, because then it says that the new series is summer of 2022.
So I mean that's when it ended. So I mean we're talking like
March
late,
22.
Okay,
is where it ends.
We're talking
So
like late 2021 is when it started.
Late 21, 22.
So I literally hadn't gotten them out since then. So it did take me like till the third issue to realize. But the first time I read through it, like when it was monthly, I just remember being so caught up in all the other stuff. I thought the Masked Raider would be somebody from the Marvel Universe. That was like, oh my God, that's like, not like the Punisher, like somebody who does use a gun, but somebody, somebody who,
oh my God, it's Rorschach.
Would
oh wait, that's DC.
Somebody who would actually be like, wow, that's cool that he was wearing a mask and carrying a gun, like I don't know, Hawkeye or something, I don't know, Captain America, I don't know. Those are obviously not my guesses, but I thought it was going to be something along those lines. I didn't really think reading it. And I'm sure that by at least the second to last issue that I'd figure out that it was who it was.
Yeah, I mean, when the reveal happened, I'm not saying I predicted it, but I definitely was not surprised by it. I was like, oh, of course. And I loved it. Because I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. And then like, it was for me, a lot of it was like, it's really tragic, actually.
Well, yes and no.
I
mean,
weirdly like lets you sympathize with him
from a certain perspective, and I don't know why, but Carlos Zoda is an evil asshole.
Yeah,
and kind of what. Have we said it?
No, we haven't even gotten to it. Like we
haven't said who he is yet.
No.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say what I'm saying until we get to the reveal.
Yeah, we can just get to it. I mean, at this point, we're on the 5th issue. Oh, can we talk about the art here? Yeah. So yeah, we get the impression. We get fuck it. We'll go to that first, and then I'll talk about the art. So the reveal is that the Masked Raider is actually.
Wait, I don't want to get to it yet.
Why?
Dude,
I don't
I
want to
don't
break
know.
down. What do you want?
Okay, go ahead.
What are we doing?
Well, there's a battle towards the end where they're trying to fight Carlo Zoda.
Yes, they're back.
Because he's taken all the power from the what is it called? The
anti-all.
No, but he's taking the power from that
Lifebringer
thing.
1.
Yeah, Lifebringer 1.
What?
And they're trying to reach him to tell him this, and he's like, "No, fuck that."
And it's fighting against the anti-all.
The anti-all, yeah. So we're basically it's is versus is not. It's everything versus nothing. Okay. If nothing wins, then there's never going to be any of these stories, all this stuff. And they're trying to tell Zoda this. And he's like, fuck you. I'm just going to tear your asses apart. And finally the Masked Raider says, well, it's up to me. And he walks right through the protective aura that Zoda has around himself that none of the other defenders have been able to get through. And he pulls out his gun and he points it at his head and he says, hey, if you don't fucking stop, this is, you have a chance to escape and walk away. He tells him. They get into a big fight, and Zoda wins because the Mask of Eternity gives the wearer an equal chance,
but doesn't allow them to win.
It doesn't mean they're going to necessarily win. So Zoda wins and shoots the Masked Raider. And he's like, you told me I could have escaped? You stupid fucking douche. And he pulls off the mask.
So what he says is, it says, strange is right. It's not that simple, is it, Carlo? You can still walk away.
Yeah.
And then he gets the gun away from the Masked Raider. And the Masked Raider says, just remember, you could have escaped.
Yes.
You could have escaped. And then the next shot,
and
the panel, just a bang. And he takes the mask. Zoda takes the mask off and realizes it's him.
But what does he say? He says,
as a escaped what? My victory? After all your warring on my enclave, you're dead, Raider. I'm alive. And as a bonus, I finally get to see who's under that mask. And he's shocked by it. But yeah.
But it's fucking him, dude.
It's him. And his punishment is he has to constantly
He's stuck in this time loop forever, for eternity.
He has to constantly fight himself and kill himself. Over and over and over again.
You ever seen what was that movie with Jackman and Bale? Nolan. The Prestige?
Yeah.
Okay, one of the biggest, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but one of the biggest questions that is raised by the movie is by Hugh Jackman's character, who actually figures out a way, unlike Bale, who used his twin. He actually figured out a way to end one life and start a new one, right? And he always said he was always, the thing that scared him the most was he going to, because he could never tell until it happened whether he was going to be transported or he was going to be cloned. Remember?
Yeah.
So he could never tell if he himself
was the original,
was going to wake up or was going to, drown and the clone was going to take over. Or if he was going to jump up there and watch the clone drown. You know what I mean? Like, any given moment, this, right? How fucking crazy is it?
So Zoda takes the mask and puts down the Eternity mask and enlarges himself to fight the anti-all to save Lifebringer 1.
Mm-hmm. And what do the defenders
again,
do?
the art, dude. The art. Like earlier when he said he's been fighting this his whole life or something.
Yeah.
And you see the panels that are side by side, and they meet in the middle at the current point of view, and then you show him getting old and turning into a skeleton on one side, and then him being a kid on the other. It's crazy. And then to seeing him enlarged to fight the anti-all, how it perfectly lines up.
It's so there's Kurt Frank Klaus Janson is an inker who's just been around forever and ever and ever in the comics, and he has a certain style the way his line work is, and that particular when the Raider expands like that, it reminds me so much of Klaus Janson's work. And for those of you who might not know who I'm talking about, you definitely do, because he is the anchor on Dark Knight Returns. You remember that name?
Yeah.
Frank Miller, Klaus Janson,
Yeah.
Lynn Varley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. All right, buddy. All right, way to read the credits.
So eventually the Defenders help
Turn into a rainbow.
turn into like this rainbow
Woke. Just kidding.
thing and like
like
watercolor
woke
the Lifebringer 1 to give him power to fight the Anti-All because Strange is getting his powers back. Everybody's getting their powers back.
Yep.
And then, Carlo Zoda, he did say before he fights the Anti-All, it always had to end this way. So he said, and still caught in the middle of their war, Carlo Zota, the man who doomed and saved us all. He could have let go of the dragon. He could have dodged the sword. He could have escaped. But then as he told me, it always had to be this way. And then, light. And Zota, the villain, actually becomes the hero.
Which is
in a weird way.
And then they're all like, hey, woohoo.
When they go back to their own time, though, that page,
yeah,
to see, like, so you get the Lifebringer 1, this big gold god statue looking thing, and then you just see the whiteness. And then as they're drifting back to
it's
their
like
times,
that. It's like that music video by Aha.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And that's something I love about the writing and the art and how they work so well together and how Ewing writes and how it's plotted of like how it's the motion of just Doctor Strange taking his shoes off and just every aspect of this book.
Taking his clothes off.
He's sitting down. He's relaxing.
Oh, shoes.
But the big twist at the end here, not the big twist, the big cliffhanger is Doctor Strange has got the Eternity Mask and he's got his little thing to call
I will tell you really quick.
Yes.
I
really like this series.
Yeah, I'm glad. It was one of my favorites of that year. It was one of the reasons why I kept reading comics, because I would go into because you see the ads and stuff, but I wouldn't pay too much attention to them too much because most of the ads in the Marvel books were for like Spider-Man shit, and I don't give a shit about Spider-Man books, not as much. I like books like this more.
There's too many shitty Spider-Man books.
But I would walk into the comic book store and like here's like Defenders #1, and you're like, what the hell is this? Oh, this is cool, right? And I like books like that. So I'm glad you really like that. But this doesn't spoil anything. But
Defenders Beyond.
But by the time Defenders Beyond starts, Doctor Strange is dead.
Well, shit.
It doesn't spoil anything because
I'm sure they're gonna find a way to bring him back or some shit.
Why don't you go fuck yourself? Maybe.
Whoa.
Maybe not. Where is it? Where is it?
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
Okay. You made your point, Tyler. All right, Tyler, it's time to talk about Punisher number 5.
Talk about that Punisher
Jason
number 5.
Aaron. Louise. Is it Louise?
Jesus Saiz, Paul Azakita, and Dave Stewart.
Yeah, give it up to Dave.
Give it up to Dave Stewart because he's the colorist.
I like how I went radio. Give it up to Dave.
Give it up to Dave Stewart winning the tickets to Stone Temple Pilots for being the 5th color.
On
KRNA,
the Buzz.
Coralville's biggest rock.
The Buzz. That was a bad burp.
Coralville's
biggest.
You want rock and roll in the metropolis of Coralville, Iowa?
You gotta stop this bit.
You gotta fucking stop.
This is gonna say hard rock for your hard cock.
Offpanelofftopic with Jake and Tyler.